We wonder why we're losing our country. We all see it. Everyone feels it. It's because we've lost our faith and our morals have been washed away with it. The single biggest lie of our postmodern world that most people believe is that people are inherently good. If we think we're good, then we don't need saving. And if you don't need saving, you don't need a savior. So Jesus is gone, kicked out of the picture. When Jesus is gone, Christianity is gone. When Christianity is gone, there's no guardrails to human behavior. There's no morals. So people act badly. And then when people act badly, the progressive rebuttal is, well, why is it that, first of all, they'll say, well, who are you to say what's right and wrong, right? And then they'll say, geez, a bad thing happened, but it's not the people who are bad because we believe people are good. So it's not people who are bad, it's systems who are bad. And what do we do to fix broken systems? Bigger government. And that's where we are today. That's what happens when you lose your Christian faith. Do you see the progression there? Or degression, honestly. This was in the San Francisco Chronicle the other day. The question was, should residents tolerate burglaries as part of city living? Tolerate burglary? What? Should we tolerate burglary? No, you should not. But that's where we are as a society, right? It wasn't long ago. It was only 1980, Stone versus Graham, when the Supreme Court ruled that schools can't put up the 10 Commandments. It was only a couple decades later, and now we have schools putting up Black Lives Matter flags and transgender pride flags and Palestinian flags. We could spend the entire hour here talking about examples of the new pagan idols that we worship. Because it's all the same paganism of yesteryear. We've untied from our moorings. I like this word, mooring. We all know it. We all see it. We all feel it. But I like this imagery of a mooring. A mooring is something you tie a boat to, right? And if you don't, there you go. And if you don't tie your boat to the mooring, then the boat drifts away. Favorite quote of Winston Churchill's was, "Here firm, though all be drifting." And he was talking about his wife, his marriage, right? Here firm, my marriage, this thing, this is my mooring. Here firm, though all be drifting. And the problem is, most people don't even have any firm. They just be drifting. When people, kids and adults, don't have moorings, don't have something to tie their ship to, they drift. Slowly, but every day further from where they should be. This is why among 18 to 24-year-olds, this is from a poll from a survey, they do it every year at Arizona Christian University. It's called like the Worldview Survey or something. The latest, 39% of 18 to 24-year-olds, 39% identify as LGBTQ? What? How could that, like that's crazy, like I don't believe that. Okay, so but let's say they are twice as far on, right? Let's say it's 20%. That's still crazy but what it's a sign of is we've unmoored our ship and we're drifting away from even the very concept of gender. But it makes sense if you're not tied to anything, the Bible, you can drift in any direction wherever the cultural currents are taking you, right? But it doesn't matter how strong the currents are. If you're tied, if you're moored, currents aren't taking you anywhere. Here firm, though all be drifting. Just talking about boats here, it reminded me of C.S. Lewis's ship analogy in Mere Christianity. And he talks about the three parts of morality. And I love this visual. So he says, imagine a fleet of ships, okay? And we want this voyage to be successful. This is our life. We want our life to be successful. We want our country to be successful. We want our culture to be successful and flourish and thrive and everything. We want our lives to be, right? So you get the voyage of these three ships. It will only be successful if three conditions are met. First, each ship has to be seaworthy. Each ship has to have engines that are in good working order. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Second, the ships can't be colliding into each other. Right? So if every ship is seaworthy, but they keep crashing into each other, we're not going to have a successful journey. But the third aspect is the one that, well, it's actually, you could make an argument that each one is most important. I would make the argument that the third is the most important. Where are we going? right? We want the voyage to be important. Where are we voyaging to? Each ship can be seaworthy, and the fleet can be moving perfectly side by side, just like, not crashing into each other. But if the fleet is supposed to go to New York City, but ends up in Calcutta, then it's a failure. That was C.S. Lewis's example, New York and Calcutta. But you can see it, right? That makes sense. So the question is, where are we going? A similar analogy would be an orchestra, right? Every instrument has to be in tune. Each instrument has to come in at just the right moment. But also, we all have to be playing the same song. And we're not right now. We're not playing the same song. We used to be. We used to be playing the same song, with different instruments, and we'd come in different moments and all these different things, but it made beautiful music. We're not even playing the same song anymore. So in our lives, we need a harmonizing of the things inside of us, right? A purposeful and consistent self-improvement plan to stay seaworthy. Second, we need fair play and harmony between individuals. And third, we need a purpose. What are we all doing here? What are we doing? What's our purpose as a collection of humans that we call humanity in a place we call America? Where are we sailing? What song is the band playing? And gosh, I feel like our society's lost all three of these things. Right? Most people are pretty terrible at playing their own instrument. We don't all come in at the same time. And we have no idea what song we're playing or should be playing. And it sounds like crap. It's making pretty awful music. We've given up on our shared Christian faith. And I think that's one reason why. We've lost who we are. We've lost how we talk to each other. And we lost where we're going. We used to share a common book. We used to have a common ministry. We used to have a common language. We used to have common expectations, common set of virtues, common mission, common expectations. Now we don't. Now I think one reason that we've lost all this is because one reason why we're unseaworthy is because of our prosperity. We've rested on the laurels of the generations before us, right? We all have all the food we need. Like imagine being a farmer back in the day when your entire livelihood depended on whether or not it rained. You're dependent on God. Today we're not. Or we don't feel like we are. We got all the food you need. We can isolate ourselves. We can isolate ourselves entirely from people and still get by. Okay, we get by. So I don't need to be a good person to other people. I don't need to serve others. And who cares where we're all headed? We'll just float around, let the tide take us where it may. There's no purpose to life anyway. We all just came out of a big bang and evolved from fish or something. And we're just random chance that we're here anyway, huh? This way of thinking can only last for so long before the whole thing comes crashing down. But yeah, we've lost our faith in America. We lost our purpose. Our purpose used to be serving and loving God. That used to be our purpose. But you may be wondering, well, Slater, what was our? That's it. Serving and loving God. Boom. End of story. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Where? On earth as it is in heaven. Well, whose job is that? Now our job is to what? I don't know, make as much money as possible or whatever. Maybe it's like be as happy as possible. Get as many likes on Twitter as possible. Maybe it's happy. I think it is. The goal is to be as happy as possible. Happy in the moment. Got to be as happy as possible in the moment at any cost for the future. Hey, Slater Crusaders, our special is called Have We Lost Our Faith in America? And the answer is yes, of course. On this special, we're going to share a couple different stories of martyrs, Perpetua being the biggest. We'll tell the story of Tertullian thousands of years ago. How are these stories relevant to us in America today? And then we have two amazing guests who are going to talk about what is a Christian's role in our broken culture and in our broken government. Some of the things that we're going to discuss on our special, Have We Lost Our Faith in America? Available now on the First TV app. You can download it for free in the App Store.